Hey everybody. There was no pledge of allegiance this morning because of the weather. I took Old Glory down. Didn't want it to get destroyed in case I was out and about while it was starting or something like that. I really don't know. It says tomorrow, could be tonight. We're gonna get some pretty nasty weather. So tomorrow's kind of up in the air what's gonna go on. We're just gonna go with the flow and do what we normally do here in Florida and just chill out and wait it out and see what goes on. So far, it's just still a tropical storm. It's probably gonna be turning into a one. They're saying by the time it hits landfall, it should be a category 3, 4, maybe 5. I don't know. It depends on how strong it gets in the Gulf. Right now, it's also talking about hitting the Panhandle, but you never know. You know what I mean? I've been here 31 years, and you never know where it's gonna hit. I mean, I've seen some really weird stuff. I've seen hurricanes go out. I've seen them come back in. I've seen them hit miles below. I've seen them hit miles up above. I've seen them cut islands in half. So you never know what's going to happen with these hurricanes today. So I'm going to throw in some stuff here and there. I'll throw you some maps. If you want to come out and look, it doesn't matter. But just be safe, that's all. Be smart. There's no reason to go out and buy up all the toilet paper and all the water, you know, which is I've already seen being done, which is ridiculous. It's asinine. Stop it. I know my guys are not doing it. My friends are not doing it because we're smart. We've been here long enough. And you know how much water you need. You don't need 20 cases of water because there's a storm. You know how much water you need. Why buy more than you need and then no one else can get it? That's kind of insane. So I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to throw some stuff together and I'm probably going to come back on and I got to add to this topic.
Hey everybody, it's Mike here. Wednesday update. Very important update. Things are as urgent as they were yesterday. That is a current look at our system. It is exploding. 979 pressure, and it hasn't even begun that journey north yet, okay? Huge system. One of the largest width systems we're going to see. What it's going to look like tomorrow, it doesn't get any worse than that, folks. Look at the Florida Peninsula. We're going to have squall lines. Don't focus on the center. The eye is going to be catastrophic, yes. Here's the latest cone. Let me tell you what, the whole state of Florida's got some sort of going on except for the tip of the Panhandle, but we got effects way, way east of the eye, way, way, way north of the eye. Major hurricane developing, strengthening major hurricane on approach, meaning inland effects way into Georgia, South Carolina. Surge is going to be something I don't think enough discussions being talked about. 5 to 8 foot in the Tampa Bay area. We haven't seen numbers like that, folks. A lot of storms were predicted to do that, and they turned south. So Clearwater, St. Pete showing 8, 9, 10 foot. If you flooded for Idalia and Ada, we're going to see waters on top of that. Now, north of here, it's even worse, obviously. But surge is going to be epic because this storm is huge. 9, 20, 30, 40 pressure system. Seas are already running above normal. Now, tornadoes, look at that. Yellow and green, watch. Orange now just popped into the picture. That means tornadoes coming off that Atlantic, okay? Don't focus on the landfall for Florida. We got effects on the Atlantic side too, okay? And then it's flooding. Pink, very rare. High flooding chances in the mountains. This system's going to go up there, stall, be a huge issue.
Videotape you. I just wanted to give you some privacy. But this is how it looks. This is every hurricane, every storm. This is unbelievable. Look at all the water that's gone. People are buying it up like there's no tomorrow. Okay, so I just stopped at Walmart. I had to bring something to Walmart over at the FedEx for my wife, so I just went and checked things out over there. And as usual, like I said, and I'll do a clip in a minute and I'll put it all together for you. And they're back at it, buying up everything. At least the bread isn't that bad. Toilet paper, bought up a lot of it. It's pretty empty. Water, pretty much so empty. So they won't break that mentality. I mean, I don't understand it. You people that live here should know by now that you use X amount of water per day per person. Okay? It doesn't change. For you guys that are on the city water that you think it's free, and that's why you pay for it. But even then, if you look at your water bill, it'll tell you how many gallons of water that you use per billing cycle. So you can pretty much figure out how much you use. Now, if you're worrying about buying water because, you're afraid you ain't going to have anything to drink, or you can't make your coffee because, there's a water ban or something like that, how about, you guys thinking about this? There's a whole area in Naples that people live by well water. Okay, so when the power goes down, if they don't have a generator, then they're pretty much done. They're in big trouble because now they can't flush toilets, they can't take showers, they can't brush their teeth, they can't wash their hair. So, but you guys want to running out and you want to buy 52 gallons, 52 cases of water to keep in your garage that you're never going to go through. So that poor bastard out there who can't even turn around and brush their teeth because they got no water, can't wash their face or their hands, or they have to go somewhere else to do it, and because you're too inconsiderate to leave water for other people. To me, it just irritates me. It just irritates me to the max. So this is going to be, I don't know if this is going to go public or is this going to stay with the private sector on my people only. I don't know. Maybe it should go public just to show you how bad this is. And it's got nothing to do with the storm. Yeah, the storm's going to be bad, but I mean, I've been here 31 years. I mean, you're used to it. It is what it is. I mean, we have these storms every year. Like, it's a season here. It's like, like how you go winter, spring, summer, fall. Well, we got summer, mosquito, hurricane, dry. Those are our seasons. You know what I mean? It's like then it's not like up north. So if you know that the hurricane is coming and you need water, then go accordingly. You don't need to buy overly amounts of water. If you're gonna use water, if you know you're gonna you're gonna cook, you need water for cooking, you buy a few gallons of water so you don't cook like that. You know what I mean? It's like you work around it. You go in the refrigerator and go, oh man, I got 27 pounds of hamburger. What am I gonna do? You don't need water to make hamburgers, so make meatballs, make hamburgers, make meatloaves. You don't need water for that stuff. Don't make no pasta. Don't use it. Don't make mashed potatoes. Don't make, boiled eggs. It's like, make stuff that you don't need water for. Conserve a little bit. You only need proteins and water to drink. You know what I mean? That's how you're going to survive. You don't need to pretend that you're going to live your luxurious life. Like, I'm going to make sure I have everything I always have. I'm going to, we got no water, but I'm going to turn around and make maybe I'll make cannolis or something. Stop it. Who are you trying to impress? You're not impressing anybody. It's called surviving. You make ends meet. To peanut butter and jelly, you know, raisins, apples, cheese sticks, you know, proteins. You know, if you have a little water that you want to have and you want to boil some eggs, boil some eggs. Eggs are great. They're high in protein. Boil a dozen eggs, you put them aside. You know, you're not going to keep opening and closing the refrigerator unless you have a cup, you know, you have a, you know, a generator, you know, that you're going to keep power on electric. Because, see, here's the deal. I'd rather turn around and open a can of beans and eat cold beans, which is really actually good for you. Very high in protein, depending on what kind of beans you're eating now. But I'd rather have my AC on and worry about cooking or water. You know, I'm not going to worry about my filtration system if I have bottled water, because that's what it's for. Because my filtration system is pretty much so screwed because of the amounts of dirty water that's going to be in it. Because don't forget, when I'm on well, so when the water backs up and everything gets all integrated, you know, you're gonna sort that out. It takes a while to fix that. You know what I mean? It's gonna go through the natural system. So you gotta be careful. You know, you get that dirty water that's going to come up from the canals because the water's going to rise and it's going to mix and it's going to, you know, sometimes if you look at our street, it doesn't even drain properly because, you know, 3 houses, you know, where all the culverts are done all nice and the water flows, and then all of a sudden, boom, you know, plot number 4, undeveloped, there's no culvert. It's flat ground. So what happens? The water builds up. And it backs up because it has to go up over that natural build. No one goes out there and digs it down. I mean, if I owned a backhoe on my road, I would go down the road and do all the culverts. I really would. Just because I get tired of having, like, my yard flooded. You know, there's been a few times that we've had fish in our culverts. You know, the young kids that live next door to me would try to trap some catfish that were up in the culverts. And I'm sure they were walking catfish. I've had them in my yard. But you also get water moccasins and, you know, other animals like alligators. Like I have an alligator in my backyard. You know, this is the 3rd season that he's been here. And he keeps coming up and he keeps getting stuck there. I don't know what he's looking for. You know, he hasn't gotten any animals that I know of. The neighbor still has his dog. The other neighbor still has his dog. We have our cats. You know, but he's out there and he's back, and he leaves and he comes back because he gets trapped up there. The water gets deep. He gets up. You know, he can go, and then he gets trapped up there and he stays there until he figures out how to get back home. And then, of course, nobody pays much mind to it because you're walking in the woods. You know, he's walking down this little tiny-ass trail. But my point is, it's that time of year again, folks. It's hurricane season. Stop with the buying up every ounce of water, every strip of toilet paper. It's not necessary. You don't need to buy 10 loaves of bread. You know, I'll throw them in the freezer, or, you know, yeah, then what happens? You know, unless you're sealing it tight, it's like your bread becomes all nasty. You know what I mean? Once you freeze bread and you defrost it, it's wet. So just stop. Just stop. It's unnecessary. You know, I think the average person drinks. You know, like for me, I'm supposed to drink 80 ounces of water per day. Okay, so if this lasts 3 days, that's 240 ounces of water that I'm supposed to consume. So 16, it's almost 17 ounces is a bottle of water that we get. So 17 ounces of water, 10 bottles is 170 ounces. So what, 20 bottles of water a day. So for 2 days I have to drink a case of water, and my wife has to drink a case of water. There's 2 cases of water, so if we're safe to say if we have 3 cases of water, we're good. You know, a couple of gallons of water to brushing your teeth and washing your hair and making yourself feel clean. You know, cleaning your private parts and stuff. I mean, you do what you need to do. That's why it's important to know some sort of survival skills. You know, I'm going to start doing, after this political stuff, maybe even in between, I think it's time, you know, people need to start learning. You know, we're going to have to go back to the basics where, you know, jarring food and and, you know, dehydrating food and freeze drying food, you know, buying canned goods, storing extra food in dark places. The thing is, you know, food is canned, it'll last. You know, you guys got to stop with this nonsense. Like, they put these dates for freshness on cans and bottles, okay? Now, certain things, yes, like soda, which is really bad for you anyway, so you really should just eliminate it anyway. If it gets old, it goes flat, okay? We know this. But, so you don't save soda, you know what I mean? Water, if it's kept in a cool damn place, it'll last. But water usually gets cycled so quickly, you don't really worry about it. But you got to keep enough of it. You know, if you freeze dry stuff, it will last 25 years. If you dehydrate stuff properly, you know, you can get dry goods to last 25 years. You can get other stuff to last 10 years, 15 years. You know, it depends on how you do it and the way you do it, and if you do it properly, you know. So I think we're going to start doing that. The other thing I think we're going to start doing is we're going to have to start going back to basics, like I said. Let's learn how to, like, flour, water, yeast, salt, sugar, bread. Boom. No brainer, right? Basically, you know, believe it or not, flour, water, sugar, yeast, and you got pasta. You could do bagels with yogurt and flour and add some fruit. Boom, bagels. You know. So, but my point is, you know, everybody's dependent on these box stores, and then they go there in this massive panic, you know. And here's the funny part about it is, like, everybody worries about not having no food or anything like that, but you know, you never hear anybody complain like, well, what do I do if I have to get this and I get that? It's like, well, here's one of the bigger things. During a hurricane, when power outages are out, guess what's no good? Your cards, your credit cards. You know, how many of you people could keep cash in the house? Probably none. Smart thing to do, though, keep cash. You know, you need a few bucks in your pocket just in case, because, and when I say a few bucks, if you can afford it, a few $100, because if you have to go get gas for some reason because you were too lazy to go get it when you should have got it before the storm, you're not gonna be able to use a gas card or credit card, so you're gonna have to pay cash. And if you do it in today's date, if you do a fill up, and it is a true fill up, it's gonna, like this truck here that I drive, it's $80 from E to F now. It was never $80 from E to F, and that's not even really on total E. It's, you know, they don't like letting it go down that low. It's not good for your vehicle. So, but just saying, $80. So, if you have two vehicles that you need to gas up, the minimum, I would say pretty close to, depending on the size of the tank, is going to be $160. Now, if you can get away with filling up one and not the other and just leaving it, that's awesome, you know. Because if you have to bug out, you got to bug out. You need a vehicle, and you need a vehicle that's going to get you where you need to go. So it needs to be a sound vehicle, you know. Fortunately for us, I do drive a pickup truck, and it is 4-wheel drive, so I'm not really worried about being stuck anywhere, because that's why it's 4-wheel drive. We do own an SUV, which is pretty roomy. The only thing though is the SUV is not 4-wheel drive; it's an all-wheel drive. So, yeah, that could be a problem. So, I mean, we do have, like, I don't have a covered bed, but that's no big deal because I'm pretty mechanical and I can rig something up to cover the stuff if I had to put stuff in the back, you know, to keep it from being wet if it was still raining and I was rolling. But the idea of everything is you gotta be able to be, you know, you gotta know, you know what I mean? You got to know, like, we could pack food from my cupboard into something and then go, you know, fill it with ice if we have to, you know, have food and not have to worry about starving. So, but anyway, I'm gonna stop at this point because there's really not much more I can say right now. It's starting to get a little dark in areas as I'm driving home. So it looks like the storm is starting to roll in a little bit. I did see a couple of splats on the windshield as I was coming, and it wasn't bugs, that's for sure, because they're already hidden. But I'm going to get to the house. I'm going to get some stuff done and just wait for the rain to come. That's it. Put some stuff, put your stuff away where it, you know, it can't be blown around and hurt anybody. If you worry about flooding and you have a pool, drain your pool down a few inches, you know, get it down below the lip. This way, if it rains, the water will go up into the pool and raise the water level of your pool, and it won't, you know, it'll buy you a little bit, at least if it's that bad. But the other thing, you know, is if you have no place to store your furniture, your outdoor furniture, and you can't bring it inside or something like that, depending on what it is, put it in your pool. You know, if you can get the padding off of it, bring the padding in the house, and then just put the stuff in the pool, because it's not going to take it out of the pool. The hurricane's not going to take it out of the pool. But I mean, you have other things to worry about, like pool cages and stuff like that, losing stuff, roofs, whatever. But this is everything we know, you know what I mean? If you get flags out there, take your flags, and I already took mine in. So just prepare yourself, you know, like I said, just make sure you're just safe. Prepare yourself, you know, have an exit plan, you know, if something happens, where you're going to go, if you need to evacuate. These are all things that are important. Make sure you got batteries, flashlights, stuff like that. Don't wait to the last minute, because if you do, then you're screwed. That's one thing I gotta say about my wife. She's like always up on that stuff. Like, I'm sure I can go into one of the drawers in the room, and I'm sure there's like 900 batteries in one of the drawers. So I'm not worrying about batteries for flashlights and stuff like that. I have lights that work on solar, and I got them outside for my flag, so I can always actually just pop them off and bring them inside. And they have an on-off button, so I can turn them on, turn them off. But if I lay them flat on the solar panel side down, they light up, and they're pretty bright because they light up my flag at night. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got to say now. Let me go ahead and do what I gotta do, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out. Love you.